We've started this work week with a whole lot of cloud cover, and it is chilly on the high desert. Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. Now today, we even started off with some fog, and in those areas of fog there was some flurry activity, even some freezing fog to start the day, and temperatures just did not go very far because of the lack of sunshine, because of the abundant cloud cover. We've even had a few sprinkles here and there, but even when we go ahead and look out across the high desert, we still see a whole lot of cloud cover until you hit closer to Prineville. Prineville Reservoir shows some areas of clearing up there, and the Prineville Airport was actually showing more sunshine too. But through the Cascades, it looks like some light snow is not done yet. So just a quick look back at the last 48 hours. We've had, this is, I believe, the last 24 to 48 hours, another inch of snow through the Cascades. And remember, that's not all of it, because we had even more earlier through the Three Sisters, Broken Top area, 4+ inches. And again, that's just here in the last 48 hours, not including what happened earlier this weekend. And when we go ahead and just look at a few more cameras through the Tri-County area, we just have abundant cloud cover, just some spots where there has been a little bit of clearing at times. So it's chilly, it's cloudy, it's gloomy across the high desert. It is fall in Central Oregon, and there's not much happening on radar either. You can vaguely see some of those spots where there is in and out cloud cover, and there's a low pressure system way off to our south over Northern California, and that low is bringing the wraparound moisture that's still impacting us through this morning. Now, the next couple of days, it's almost like we're flipping the weather switch, and we're going to see a huge change up. And Tuesday is that transition day where we're going to go from mostly cloudy and chilly, cold to start the day off, to more sunshine by the afternoon and evening hours. And it's because this low pressure is moving further inland, and a ridge of high pressure out over the Pacific Ocean, that's going to build into the Pacific Northwest. And so when we just switch gears a little bit and look at infrared satellite imagery, before we were looking at a blend and there was no color correction. Here, there is an enhancement on the colors that really help to pull out those tall clouds. And notice there aren't too many tall clouds across the Tri-County area. That's for a couple of different reasons. Number one, that's a lot of this was fog that lifted up and just hasn't dissipated. Number two, we don't have a lot of convection over the Tri-County area. That's way off to our south over Northern California. Even at that, they're not bringing much at all in the way of lightning. It's just some vertical clouds. Number three, this is going to settle back in tonight, so it's very low level cloud cover that's going to become fog for parts of the high desert once again. And so this is the beginning of that change up in our weather pattern, but it really starts to take shape by tomorrow. Here's what I'm talking about. Across the high desert during the overnight hours, using a high resolution forecast model that also has fog thrown in there, or visibility thrown in there. Notice visibility stays pretty low in some parts of the Tri-County area overnight, and then it's not until tomorrow that lifts up and dissipates. Once that dissipates, we're back to sunshine with some in and out clouds for the tail end of this low pressure system, and that continues through Wednesday. Now, this is going to come with a gradual warming trend, but remember, it's October, so a warming trend doesn't equal highs getting back into the 80s. In fact, we're going to be getting back into the 60s with some 70s before our next big cool down late in the 7-day planner, when we get our next bigger system that rolls in. But there's also going to be another cold front that pushes through before that. So right now, relative humidity is already pretty high. Typically, in Central Oregon, we look for relative humidity above 85% before we start to see full saturation in the vertical column. AKA, if it's not 85%, you're probably not going to see fog. Now, some of us already meeting that threshold, some of us already up at 99% in Sun River, getting close to Lava Butte, some of those higher elevations. Meanwhile, today, in the last 24 hours, temperatures have actually cooled for many of us, but highs were in the 40s and 50s. Now, some of these are going to be holdovers from yesterday, but look at this. Right now, we're sitting in the 40s with 50 degrees in Prineville, matching that in Paulina, already down to 36 in Sisters. So it's chilly. Winds have been a little breezy at times, not too bad. Temperatures are running between 5 degrees warmer in Paulina, 4 degrees warmer in Prineville, to 8 degrees cooler in Sisters and Warm Springs than we were just 24 hours ago. Now, through the rest of this evening, we're falling back through the 30s, reaching into the 20s for most of the high desert, just not quite everybody. So the average low temperature is going to be right at 29 degrees, but some of us get colder than that. And where you have areas of fog, that's going to be freezing fog, so keep that in mind. Some freezing drizzle not out of the question in those areas of fog. Now, temperatures tomorrow top out well into the 50s, so that's the beginning of our warming trend. Now, your school bus forecast shows that we do indeed start off in the 30s with several 20s for lows. Areas of AM fog are expected. By the afternoon, we're looking at 50s with more sunshine. A little breezy at times, but not too bad. So here's really what's happening. By tomorrow, more sunshine is expected after some of this AM fog gives way to this next ridge of high pressure. So cold start, more PM sunshine, breezy at times, highs in the 50s with some 40s. Then look at this. By Wednesday, we're talking a gradual warming trend. So highs are going to be well into the 50s. We're talking mid to upper 50s, some low 60s. By Thursday, well into the 60s. Notice each day we have more sunshine. Each day some clouds are expected, but each day keeps rain chances low and not looking at too much in the way of snow unless you're caught up in some of this fog during the early morning hours. You could see some flurries, some freezing drizzle potentially, which means the potential for slick roads. But between now and Wednesday at 11 p.m., we're just looking at some very, very, very light precipitation as that high is building into the region. So let's go ahead and just focus on that forward motion. What's going to happen? So by Thursday, Friday, there is a weak front that's pushing through. That will bring some in and out clouds. It could bring some mountain snow, but not much in our lower elevations. And by Saturday, we're already up to 70 degrees. So temperatures stay below average for several days. By Friday, we're getting closer, just not quite up to the 66 degrees. And by Saturday, we're really noticing those more pleasant temperatures, but they do not stick around for long. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's your forecast model. It shows some of that fog overnight tonight. By tomorrow, AM fog, PM sunshine mixed with some clouds. By Wednesday, a mixture of sunshine and cloud cover. Once again, that high pressure and low pressure battling out. Winds could get breezy at times. By Thursday, more sunshine during the day. Some PM clouds expected in advance of that next cold front. So let's talk about the next cold front. This is the Thursday-Friday cold front. And what's going to happen is Thursday we get our increasing clouds. Some sprinkles through the Cascades. By Friday we start to clear out. This system is fizzling out as it rolls in. It's not going to be impressive at all. And then by Saturday we're looking at more sunshine. By Sunday our next system quickly rolls through with rain becoming rain and snow showers, maybe even some snow in our lower elevations. But like the forecast had for today, it doesn't look like a good chance of snow in our lower elevations by this time next week. So we're really looking at the chance of some precipitation, not much happening in the mountains or snow-wise. So wind gusts right now are between 20 and 30 miles per hour for most of the high deserts. Not quite everybody though. Actual wind speeds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and really during the last couple of hours, wind speeds have been cranking up. Now it's going to be gusty at times, but shortly after sunset, we're back down to a light breeze. And notice winds are mostly out of the north. They stay out of the north through tonight going into tomorrow. Winds only breezy at times, Tuesday afternoon getting into the evening hours. By Wednesday, some PM winds are going to be picking up, but it's not going to be really driven by anything except for that low pressure that's just off to our east. Notice we do get the shift in weather pattern. Southwest and west becoming northwest by the afternoon. Meanwhile, look at this. Our forecast for tonight shows 20s and some 30s, so most of us bottom out near and below freezing. Many of us bottom out in the 20s. For Tuesday, we're looking at 50s with some 40s on the map and PM clearing. And here's that 7-day planner. Notice there's that weak system Thursday and Friday. I might even take the chance for mountain snow out of the forecast because it's just not a strong system. It's really fizzling out as it rolls in. Biggest change up is fog again tonight. Could bring us some slick roads, and we're going from 40s today to 60s by Thursday and Friday, then 70 by Saturday, then Sunday and Monday. That next bigger system rolls through the Pacific Northwest. That is the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. Do not forget, there are going to be some changes to our scheduling because of Monday Night Football. So don't forget Monday Night Football. It is the Chicago Bears at Washington at the Commanders, and that means that there is going to be a shift in our lineup. We're going to be on ABC after the game, and then at 11 p.m. Regular times on CBS. And always, like always, we are going to have shows on COTV if you have been broadband. So here's a look at what you can expect. Overnight fog, possible. Expected for some, just not everybody. Then PM sunshine on Tuesday. Cold nights and a light breeze are expected to continue, and the October warm-up begins. Technically, it's a warm-up. It's going to feel a little bit better, but it's not going to feel like warm-ups that we've had in the last couple months. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have your latest headlines and your most reliable forecasts. See you then.